we're back for some baking today. So this is the baking step of making sourdough bread, and those yeast cultures and bacteria cultures have definitely been busy. We made the leaven last night to get ready for the bread today. So we just pull that out and you can see the bubbles, hopefully, that are in there. So letting us know that those little microbes are busily working. And it definitely smells soury. 1/4 cup of water. Tablespoon of salt, and we're just supposed to dissolve that. Kind of stir it once in a while. We want it all to eventually dissolve in there. So we'll set that aside for a second. 2 cups of water. And we want to try to get this all dissolved. It looks kind of clumpy right now. This might take some stirring. There's one. I'm going to stir along the way because it's going to get harder and harder to stir. Here comes Isla to check it out. Hi, dog. Two. 3. 4. It's getting much more like dough. I want to make sure all that dry flour is getting mixed into the bowl or into the dough so that you don't have dry flour leftovers at the bottom. And at some point, we might have to get in here with our hands. And 5. In order to get all this flour in there, I'm taking it out onto the counter so I can mix in all this flour. All right, that's the last of the flour. So we're supposed to rest the dough for 30 minutes or up to 4 hours. Plastic back over the top of this and just let it sit. Instructions say it's supposed to be shaggy. Mine is not shaggy by any means. So now I'm going to add that extra water in there and see if this is probably more like what it's supposed to be like. All right, because it says the next step is the autolyse stage where the flour is fully absorbing the water and enzymes in the flour. This seems maybe a little more right. It's supposed to be shaggy. It was a little bit too much like regular dough before. Time to fold the dough. So now that the bread dough has rested for just a little over half an hour, it is time to add the salt water, which is mostly dissolved. So there goes the salt water. Woo, yeah, it is wet and sticky and gross. Mushing it all in there. Okay, so it says we have to fold the dough, and we do this for 2.5 hours. Every half an hour, you come do the same sort of thing. So what it says is you grab the dough at one side, lift up, fold it on top of itself, then twist the bowl, lift up like a fourth of a turn, quarter of a turn. I don't even know what's happening right now. I think I did it 4 times. And now we let that sit for half an hour, and then we'll do this 6 times. So I better keep track because I will never remember. So I'm just gonna make a tally. That was time number 1. All right, so cover it up, set a timer for half an hour, and then come back and do that again. So up and fold, and up and fold. So now we let it rest 30 to 60 minutes. So I'll see you in a little bit. It is time to make it into 2 loaves. So it says to sprinkle some flour. I just cleaned the surface, I washed my hands. And so now it says sprinkle some flour out on a surface. So it says to use a pastry scraper. I definitely do not have one of those. Boy. But I do have this little cutting board, and I'm going to try to use this to split it. Something sharper would be nicer. Oh, there we go, that works. Okay, so now I've got 2 loaves, and this part is shaping it into rounds. So I guess if you don't really care what it looks like, you can kind of just do whatever you want. But you're supposed to take this and circle it around, kind of. So sprinkle a little flour, sprinkle flour on this so it doesn't get stuck. And I think you're trying to make a circle. So you kind of do this. You're supposed to spin it and turn it. I don't really know if I'm doing anything here. It looks nice. Okay, and this, it says it's not the final, this is not the final shaping, it's just preliminary shaping. Okay, so once you have them shaped, then you let them sit for another 20 minutes to a half an hour. So, see you in a little bit. All right, we're on to the next step. We've let these rise for half an hour on the counter, and now we're gonna prepare the bread proofing area. Some people have baskets. I just have colanders with clean kitchen towels in. You need a lot of flour, and you're supposed to rub the flour into the fabric, more flour than you think. So there should be like a good layer of it on your towel. All right, that one's pretty good. I'll do this one. All right, so those two have a lot of flour in there. So dusting. We're supposed to fold it like we did before. So pulling up and over and up and over and up and over and up and over, and then kind of making that and then flipping it back to make a circle. All right, and then we do the same with this one. Flip it, make it round. Then we generously put a lot of flour in there, and then we're going to flip it upside down into the basket so that the seam's up. Get a lot of flour on there, flip it into the basket. And now you let it rise for 3 to 4 hours or overnight in the fridge. So I'm going to put mine in the fridge and bake the bread tomorrow.